like be able to go back in time kind of and like check it out and then come back, you know, like Back to the Future style. Okay, so I already have my base on. I'm just going to start with my blush. I want to do like a purpley pink look today. That's just what I'm feeling. It's not inspired by anything. It's just how I feel. So I'm starting off with the e.l.f. Buddy Blush, and this is in the shade Bora Bora. I do have kind of a sore throat and stuffy nose, so I'm sorry if my breathing is weird into the mic or something, but I'm kind of trying to like power through whatever this is that I have going. So I was just watching Back to the Future, so that's why I was thinking about like, oh, what time periods, like, would it be cool, you know, if I could visit, like go back in time and visit. I don't think I want to stay. I wouldn't want to live, like actually live in another time period, mostly because of like all my health issues, and I wouldn't want to not have modern medicine to help me with that. With my endometriosis, they probably would have like burned me at the stake, thought I was a witch or something with my broken body parts. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't want to actually live in another time period, but it's fun to consider. Okay, so I think the first time period that I'd be sort of interested in checking out would be like Renaissance Italy, which I looked up is like the 14th century through the 17th century, so that's a long time ago, but the art was amazing. So many amazing like artists, and the architecture, I think, from that time period is very neat, and just the culture, like they were discovering so many things that were new to them. I think it would have been a very exciting time period. I'm gonna go in over the top of that e.l.f. blush with the Milani baked powder blush in Dolce Pink. Of course, there's always, you know, like the issue of there being a lot of resistance to all that new stuff they were discovering. So that would be scary. And of course, not having modern medicine or, you know, like plumbing, electricity, those sort of things would be a little bit of a bummer. But I think there'd be a lot of really cool stuff too. So next I'm going into the Wet n Wild Make Glow Illuminating Palette. My favorite Renaissance artist is Michelangelo. I would love to go to Rome and see like a lot of the Renaissance time period art in person. I've seen some at museums in London when I was living there, but I'd like to see a lot of the stuff that's actually in Rome or other places in Italy. I really enjoy history. I love to learn about history and art, architecture, culture, religion. different time periods, different places. I think that's all really, really neat, and it gives like a new perspective for like understanding even the world we live in now, and just in understanding in general. So another time period that I think would be cool to visit, of course, I was just watching Back to the Future, so you know that inspired this. But I watched all three in a row, so the third one is like the Wild West. And I think that would be really neat to visit, like the American Wild West. And also in Canada, it was kind of the same situation. They were doing a lot of like what we stereotype as the Wild West sort of living, pioneer style. Again, of course, we have the whole no electricity, plumbing, modern medicine situation there as well. But that all would have been normal if we lived in that time period, so I'm sure it would be fine as long as you never knew it any other way. I'm going to set that eyeshadow primer I just put down. There is an airplane going over. Sorry about that. Next, I am going to take a transition shade, and I think I just want to go for this one at the bottom, Garden Path. It's just slightly darker than Fresh as a Daisy. It's like a beige color. I think the only like job I would have wanted if I was living in the Wild West would be like a school teacher. I don't know. That was probably one of the few jobs there was for women, to be honest. I'm not sure what jobs were available. So let's see. Next, of course, you guys already know I love Pride and Prejudice. I would love to be able to visit the British Regency era. That would be so cool. I love the fashion, and I also love the architecture. I like a lot of the literature that was being written at the time. They were into kind of romanticism, and they were really into nature during that time period. I'm going to, let's see, I'm trying to decide if I want to go for like these three colors, or if I want these more cool tone purples. But I think I'm going to go for these three colors right here. So first I'm going to go into my Pretty Peony. That's that lighter pink. And I'm going to go all over the lid and into the crease. I think that the Regency era would be so cool, but of course only if you were like fairly wealthy. Most likely if I lived in the Regency era, I would have been, some kind of maid or some kind of household servant. But when I think of Regency era, of course I'm thinking of, like Elizabeth Bennet style, where she's like upper class. She comes from a family, they don't really work. They have a living from the land that Mr. Bennet owns, and they have servants, and they pretty much, all day, like reading books and taking walks, embroidering things, playing the piano, picking flowers in the garden, that kind of stuff. Most likely, like I said, if I actually were to live in that era, I would be some kind of servant. But, and I'm sure that wouldn't be very fun. So I've got like a light wash of pink on my lid and into my crease now. So I'm gonna go into the color Orchid. That's like that deeper magenta shade. So the next era that I really like is the Victorian era. So that's like 1837 through 1901. That's when Queen Victoria was queen in England. And of course that's why it is called the Victorian era. And of course I love the fashion. The Victorian era is actually when white became a popular choice for wedding dresses, because Queen Victoria wore a white wedding dress. She was actually the first person to like make that a trend. People were just copying Queen Victoria and it stuck. So I do love Victorian fashion. I love Victorian architecture. That's my favorite kind of architecture. I would love to have a Victorian house. That pretty, like, detailing on Victorian houses is called gingerbread. And I think it's gorgeous. I love Victorian houses. I like the furniture from the Victorian era as well. I'm just darkening up the outer part of the eye with this pretty magenta color called Orchid. The Victorian era had a big influence in the United States too. It was very, very popular. The style of clothing and the architecture was very popular in America as well as England. And I can see why. So the next era that I really think is very interesting, I think it'd be cool to visit, is the 1920s. I would probably want to visit like 1920s America in like a bigger city, maybe like maybe New York, but maybe not quite that big. I'm not sure exactly where, but there was so much going on. Of course, I love Art Deco architecture, but I also just think that time was it would have been so interesting to be living like the situation with fighting for women's suffrage. Women got the right to vote in 1920, August 18th of 1920 is when it was ratified. And, leading up to that point, of course, there was lots of protesting and attempts made to get that legislation passed. And I think that would have been so interesting. And prohibition, of course, was in the process of happening at this time. So you had the whole like speakeasy situation going on, and the flappers and bootlegging. I just think all of that would have been wild to like experience as it was happening. Learning about it is super interesting, but can you imagine what it was like to actually be there for it? I am taking this color called In Full Bloom. It's like a shimmery metallic burgundy color. I'm taking it on the inner part of the eye, and it. And then I want to take that orchid color that we were using before and go underneath from the outside towards the middle. I kind of want to try and take it like up a little bit on like the outer part of the upper lid, kind of like a wing. And I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know if that's going to turn out very well, but I'm giving it a try. I'm just trying to match it now on the other side. I want to fix my brows. I want to just brush them. Brush, 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 brush. Brush, 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 brush. And I'm gonna go in with the Revolution Soap Brow. And just stick my brows up. I need to blend this a tiny bit out, a little bit. Let's see. Okay, that's better. So, the other time period that I really like, mostly from a fashion standpoint, is the 1950s. I think the style, like the dresses, those are so cute. And I like a lot of, like, that's the time period when they're kind of starting to get a lot of modern conveniences into houses, like refrigerators and radios, like irons that are electric, stuff like that. Things are starting to get a little easier in terms of taking care of the household in that time period. Some modern conveniences coming in. The vacuum. I'm going in now with the Great Lash. And then the last time period I'm kind of sad I missed out on. I just barely missed it. The 80s. It looked kind of fun, like the fashion, like the hairstyles, and I don't know. It just kind of looks like maybe it was kind of a fun time. But I wasn't born until 1991, so I missed all of the 80s. I'm just lining my lips with this LA Colors Auto Lip Liner in the shade Mauve. And then I'm going to go into this Yummy Gloss, CoverGirl Yummy Gloss, and this is the shade My Straw Booty. I haven't tried this shade yet. So I'm excited. I have the Havana Good Time one, and I like that one a lot, so I'm sure I'm gonna like this. Oh, it smells so good. This reminds me of that gloss I berry one. This has a very similar smell. Oh my goodness. I love that. It's so cute. It smells so good, you guys. Just a little bit more. Okay. Well, I'm looking very pink. And I like it. Okay, you guys, that is my whole look. Thank you guys so much for getting ready with me. I had fun talking to you about places in the past that I would like to visit, places and time periods. I hope that you enjoyed this